episode 137 of New Meta Podcast, back for another week, another patch, 7.29b, although not a whole lot to talk about there. We'll be covering some general meta questions, improvement questions, talking about games, all that good stuff. Marco, welcome to the pod, how are you?
Thank you, doing well, enjoying the freedom that the UK rules relaxation brings. That's been pretty pog.
Been to the pub? What's
mate. Big pub gardens, big blue skies, happy days.
Yeah.
Bit of DotA, bit of work. I mean, life's just pretty good.
Nice. I haven't actually made it to a pub yet, but I've been enjoying some of the other stuff, like sport being back on and stuff like that. So the weather's been so nice. The weather's been so nice where I am anyway. In the south, maybe in the north, it's just always grim, but...
Nah, mate, we've got it as well. Honestly, Gaben's been looking down on us. We've been getting, like, sunshine, blue skies for this last week of loose restrictions. It's been fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, how about you, Adam? How's life? How's
Tennessee.
The weather? 10 times hotter than here?
That was cold this week. It was like 40.
Don't know what 40 means.
Translate, please. Celsius.
Quick Google.
4.5.
Shit,
oh, 4.5. Oh my word.
We've got like 14, cold. 15.
Yeah, we're rocking out on like 12 over here.
That's just how Tennessee weather goes. It'll be 4.5, and then it'll be like 20 in the same week.
Wow.
Maybe we've got Dawnbreaker to thank, because she's got the Suns Out, Guns Out line, which I think is class.
What level is that?
At 0. She just says it when you're walking around.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's just fly into our games intro segments before I have my own new corner that I'll tease. Ooh. A weekly segment, a stat corner that I'll explain maybe in a little bit more depth after our games, but a new weekly corner has come, a new segment. But without further ado, Marco, how's your week in Dota been? How you feeling?
Is your corner just quick before or after I introduce the hero that I'm flaming Stan for? I'll do it now, surely before.
Surely before, yeah. We'll do all the games and the flame, and
yeah,
and then we'll get serious.
To fill Adam in, there's a hero that I need to shout Stan out negatively, and a disclaimer is obviously that I'm Stan's biggest fan. No one rates Stan higher than I do, so I'm allowed to flame him. But there's a hero that needs flaming. But those games.
Just to update, Quincy Crew won with a 96k gold lead. That was pretty funny.
Wow.
So they were down megas as well, for the context.
That is the highest net worth advantage I've seen.
That's insane, yeah. Talking megas, we got another mega creep win. So, I had a mega creep win last week, and then this week just gone, the three of us, and I feel like we've had a lot of 3-stack, us three in the same game quite a lot this week, and we had our own mega creep win, which was pretty pog.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, that Morphlane.
The Morphlane.
Oh yeah.
We actually came back from
I
megas.
forgot about that because I was just in the base. I don't even remember what hero I was.
You were
Dazzle. They had an enemy TB, and we hold our base, we lose megas, push down mid, they have an anti-mage TB. They kind of throw them both into the Morph, who gets a Divine Rapier. I think he even had double damage, maybe, as we do this
also,
mid-push.
let's just say he's got Solar Crest active and Heavenly Grace on him, importantly.
Yeah, the Omni Knight.
Critical importance, absolutely critical.
Critical. And he flies in and kind of 3 shots his AM buybacks, jumps in and dies. TB loses 1 life to our skirmishing, buys back, but then Boots travels to our base. But then Adam's the defending it against Megas. I TP back as Skywrath. And Ron Mexico maybe a Grimstroke TP's back. We killed the TB, hold our throne, like 20% HP. Morph and Stan continue the mid lane push and kind of take down the enemy throne. Immense conclusion to that game, honestly. That was cool.
Yeah. Come on, let's have it.
What?
Well, I'm just waiting for this flame. You said you're going to flame one of my heroes.
Yeah, let me get through my games, bro.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I did a bit of Dawnbreaker, because we talked about what Dawnbreaker we think is good or bad, and so I played a few more. I had one game, I think the one game I struggled... Why did we struggle? I can't remember. Anyway, one of the games was a stomper, 21 kills, 1 death, 22 assists. That was a stomper in the mid. Another win in the mid. I did say I think Blink is critical for the mid. In these games I played, I'd skipped it and just went Echo Saber, Sanjin Yasha, and I think it was fine because it was a party stack and get away with it. I do think in a ranked super serious game, I wouldn't be able to get away with Echo Saber, Sanjin Yasha, because I don't think people would let you get spells off as easily. So I did mention I think Blink is great as a mid Dawnbreaker. I've actually not played it yet, but I still kind of stand by it. If you look at the stats, offlane's obviously the vast majority of how DB's played, which makes sense. It's kind of sad and boring, given Valve teased the carry. Yeah. But yeah, Dawnbreaker stats obviously still stomping. Well,
if you want her to be a carry, don't give her 2,500 HP at like minute 15.
She gets fucking royed fast. So that's, big. And then the other thing of my games I would shout out is my Centaur. I'm back to playing Centaur in the offlane. My DotA says it's my best hero in client. Sadly 2-2 these last couple of days. I think I should be 3-1, but I'm 2-2. Vanguard's the new flavor POS 3 item. It's cheaper by 100. It's about 1.8k. And it's even better now. It got buffed. But something like 60% block chance versus 50%, or yeah, I think that was it. And what you do is you rush it. First item, pre-boots, pre-anything. So I've had Centaur games, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, you got a Vanguard. Enemy carry can't touch you. It's really strong. You've seen it a lot in DPC with Centaurs and Axe. Very, very common.
You just get first item, Ring of Health.
Yeah. So you go in with like a Tango, Quelling Blade, Ring of Protection, say, maybe a stick as well if it's a good stick lane. I just buy nothing but Ring of Health and Vitality Booster, and yeah, you're hitting it 4 or 5 minutes, and max return as well, so you're extra, like, they can't trade with you. You just dominate the lane. I got fucked one game because I was against a Jug Doc combo, which turns out is very good against Strength Heroes. Yeah. They just click all the spells on me and I'm dead, and it's like, alright, this is sad. But often you're against these heroes like a Spec, or a Void, or a PA, Wraith King, like no, and when you've got level 2 return or level 3 return with a Vanguard, like no one can touch you. So, I mean, I'm keen to keep doing Centaur, I think it's, Vanguard is very strong, it feels. S4's doing it, so it must be good.
Nice.
But yeah, that's basically my games.
Excellent, yeah. We're both offlaners now, is that the fact of the matter now?
I'd be interested to see what your new position is. I mean, I've always had 3 up the sleeve. It's helped me. It's always been a booster for me. Like, play a bit of Mars, play a bit of Centaur, abuse some free wins.
Yeah, you did.
I pushed out of my lane. You're gonna have to make me a carry.
I'll go back to 1. I'll never leave the 1.
Yeah.
We got 2. Like, I have 3 people fighting over 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying not a lot has changed for you. Well, not a lot has changed for me either, because I've always had Underlord up the sleeve.
So, honestly, you've not played him in ranked enough. He's not been ranked for like 2.
I know, he hasn't been ranked for ages, and then I played him twice this week and just won 2 games, so now the pit's back, and I feel like the pit can just carry me, maybe, see how far it takes me, but Bristleback's also historically one of my best heroes, but that hasn't come out in ranked for probably even an extra year. So that really is a long time. I don't think I played that since I was like 2K or something, so I don't know to what extent that counts. So then beyond Pit Lord, it's just maybe a bit of Sand King and Slardar. That's like about all I'm offering, but I've had a lot of fun playing 3 recently. I feel like my Sand King's pretty fine.
You had a nice Sand King and a Slardar in party. Honestly, I love it because it's just a blink stun. Just aggression is so high.
Yeah, and Centaur as well. Like, you can't go wrong with a Centaur. I played plenty of Centaur and ranked. Axe is a bit bad, but I haven't played him in ages, but he's maybe one on the list, because I have played a fair bit of Axe in my playing career, but you just don't see him very often. Yeah, you just don't see him.
Yeah, it's like they both got this blink initiation, but then Centaur's got Stampede and Axe has got a finishing touch. Like, the ultimates just don't compare.
W's huge damage. Battle Hunger is just slow.
Axe is like, you stomp the lane better, maybe, but yeah, after that.
Yeah, and there's a lot. It's interesting with the 3 roll. There's a lot of 3s that I've never really tried, and the sort of 1 or 2 occasions I've played them, I've been absolutely, completely useless. Because I played so much mid that I can kind of play any hero mid, and at least have a vague idea of what I'm supposed to be doing, even if I can't quite manage it because I'm bad on the hero. But when I play 3 with some heroes, I'm not only terrible at playing the hero and the lane and everything, I also have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Like, as a Tide Hunter who's been ruffle stomped in lane, like, what do I do in this game? Or like a Night Stalker in a similar situation, I just have no idea what I'm doing. So it's a learning process. It's good fun though. I haven't played any Tide or Night Stalker. There's my examples of heroes that I would be absolutely clueless on. Yeah, but it's all good. Before I move on from my game though, I had an interesting thing that I found out about our pit lord, our best friend, or my best friend anyway. And that is how much the win rate changes through MMR.
Yeah, it's always been a very downwards trend, right? Like, the higher up you go, it goes down.
Exactly. And it's insanely drastic. So in a Guardian and lower, Crusader and lower, so that's like 2k MMR and less, it's got a 58% win rate. So this hero is genuinely free MMR in Crusader and lower, and we talk about this all the time. Pit Lord's just free MMR. I feel like it's free MMR in my bracket, but you go along, and Archon, we're now down to 56, Legend 55.5, Ancient 49. So the dip it goes minus 6% when you get to 4k, and then even lower in Divine plus 47%. So it's interesting to me that it's got a 49% win rate in Ancient, because that, I would have, if you'd made me put money on it, I would have said like 55%. It feels like
I'm sure it's been higher than that. I'm sure I've seen it higher than that.
Yeah, that's just this week.
Yeah, this week, but yet still, it is drastic.
It is quite drastic, yeah. And then in pro games, you just don't see it. But I still stand by the fact that Underlord is a great hero to play pubs with in, all levels of Dota apart from Immortal, probably. I still think even in Divine, you're going to have a good time. I think it just struggles with, sometimes it struggles with the laning. But even then, I just feel like you just queue waves and queue camps and you're fine. Anyway, this isn't about Underlord. I just thought it was an interesting observation. And the same can be said of Wraith King as well, interestingly. Wraith King's another hero that is exactly the same. In Crusader and lower, 55 or 56% win rate, and then at 52% in Archon, 52% again in Legend, 51% in Ancient, and then 49% in Divine Plus. So it's kind of interesting, these heroes and what they have in common. I guess tanky, hard to kill,
ease of execution.
Yeah. Adam, games, how have they been? Been playing some Dazzle, I know.
Bro, that was like 20 games ago. No, I like busting out the Dazzle. That's a fun one in party. And it seems like every time I've picked it, there's been an illusion hero. So very fun. Tried to make right-click Tiny work. Did not work. Although I know it's good. I just couldn't get it to work. Dawnbreaker is very strong until like 23 minutes in the game. And then she becomes very weak. So I would like to see the early game nerfed and the late game buffed.
Yeah, it's weird. How do you buff the late game?
I don't know. I don't think you should be able to interrupt the queue.
That's the thing that really sucks.
Like, if you're if you've fallen behind in the game, you might be the worst hero in the game. That's probably hyperbole, but you can't jump in on anything. Because you can't, so all your spells are useless. Your E is useless because you're never going to hit anyone, and like the heal's minuscule, and if you've fallen behind, there's like no point of, healing and dealing a little bit of damage. And if you W in, you're never going to get off any other of your spells. Like, you can't Q. You can't channel your ult, because people have figured out that you just stun and it goes away. So, yeah, you're just kind of a feed machine.
I feel like you need the Q to go through Magic Immunity. Because physics, right, it looks like it should. It looks like a spell that goes through Magic Immunity.
It looks like physical, doesn't it?
Yeah, like, it's going to slam you down. But it doesn't. If they've changed that, it could be a big buff.
I think it just does damage. I have problems with the spells completing. Like, you get one swipe, and then you're just stun locked and you're dead. Between hexes and silences and...
So does a silence stop you mid-swing?
I have no idea. I probably just went in with my W and got silenced. It's just too much. It seems like every bit of crowd control kind of ruins the hero. But it is absurd early.
Yeah. The mid-game, the mid-games.
Yeah. It's so fun to ult across the map and land and then combo off. But there becomes a stage in the game where it actually just doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Still ripping off gyro support games, I see.
Yeah, I played that one today. That one was very fun.
So many kills, oh my word.
Yeah, your classic support gyro 10, 10, and 29.
Yeah.
Come out of the laning stage 6, 4, and 4. That's just how you do it. That's how you write it up. You use all your spells and you die and you come back. And it's got first blood. I was 1v2ing, this was Radiant safe lane by the hard camp. Hard camp and the ramp to go down to the river. 1v2ing a Doom and an Earthshaker while my Drow just takes all the creeps for free. Drow has 6k net worth at 12 minutes, on par with the safe lane Alchemist from the other team.
Flying. And
then, I die, I TP mid, throw a rocket on the Storm Spirit, and this is at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. He gets stunned, I walk over because I know he wants to bottle his bounty rune, and then, I've put a ward on that high ground, and he walks over there, and I just use the combo, and he dies. Because he's, super low and greedy. It's just, exactly what you want to do, is be a super aggressive, and then Drow's, Omega strong. We had Drow Venge, which was Drow Venge, Abaddon. So, Solar Crests, Vlad's Aura, passive Venge Aura.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually, so I've been so greedy with my 5 builds, and this time I went Veil because my Drow wanted a Bassi, so that's a natural build in. But then I was like, you know what? I'll get Glimmer Force Staff, and if that isn't just the best combo for any support hero to have, it's absurd. Yeah. You just, oh no, I got gone on, I'll Glimmer myself. Oh no, my carry got gone on, I'll Glimmer them. They got doomed, I'll Glimmer them and force them out.
Yeah.
Feels good. It's man, I should just buy that combo every game, yeah.
Yeah. What more do you need? Marco, do you want to get this flame out of the way, or what? Do you want me to start? Do you want to do my stat corner? We're going to talk about
I'll do the flame quick. It's kind of annoying because I posed the segment to Stan in the week, and you actually did guess it correct. It is the Stan Magic T Mars that I put in the same, I don't know what you call it, the same pedestal, but it's a very low pedestal. It's the Stan Tinker. I'd rather see a Stan Tinker than a Stan Mars.
Surely not.
No, I honestly, I've come to accept it that the Stan Mars is not to be seen in pub DotA. Stick it to the bots. It is diabolical.
What could he have? How do
my mid Mars is class.
Mid Mars, offlane Mars. All of it is awful. Honestly, Stan's worst hero. Bottom 3.
Gaben glitches my game when I play Mars. Remember that clip where I W them forward and then it goes behind me?
Yes, I do remember, actually.
Dear me, that epitomises it.
Well, the problem with my Mars, and I know you're going to say there's lots of problems, which is true, but the main problem with my Mars is missing spears, which admittedly is quite a big problem. It is kind of the crux of the hero. But.
Scenario A, Stan misses a spear. Scenario B, Stan hits a spear and just launches the enemy away from the team. Like, there's no good scenario that happens.
But, yeah, I don't understand how pros do an arena and then, like, spear from across. I don't understand how they do that. Anyway, but an improvement that I've made mentally, whether it will translate next time I play Mars, I don't know. But arena and then keep walking towards them. Don't, like, spear straight away. If you've got, like a max cast range arena and they're at one side of it, you're at the other side. It's quite easy to dodge. So, like, walk at them, W them to slow them, and then Q them. Or, like, W them into the wall, ideally, and then Q them into the wall.
Yeah, because if your body's basically next to the enemy, you can't really miss the spear.
Yeah. Although, admittedly, I have missed some spears from, like, point blank. But, that's chill.
And I played a Mars game a day ago. I love that hero. I went the Yule's Blink build.
Yeah.
So it's just like so much fun to blink in, Yule someone, then you don't have to miss the hook stand.
Yeah. Well, you say that. But...
And then Ag Shard, so they had a brood, offlane brood, and you know what's fun against a brood is overwhelming blink. That's fun.
Oof. I haven't
blink
seen that.
in and just pop the all those spiders just explode.
When I go mid Mars, I actually don't go Yules anymore because I think when you're playing it mid, you want to get Blink Deso just like as soon as possible. Yeah.
No, this was offlane.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like offlane utility Mars. That's very more my cup of tea.
Yeah, the Yules is so nice. The mana, the movement speed, setup, catch. It's very nice.
And then like movement speed, Talon at 10, and then we had a Monkey King and a Dark Willow. So there you go. That's like and a Sven carry. So that's heroes that like arena. Put it that way.
Let's go to this new segment then. So, inspiration for an added sort of stat corner is that I realised I actually don't know anything about numbers in Dota, and numbers in Dota are at least somewhat important to understand, whether it be armor, stats, move speed, attack damage, all of these different things. I have no idea whether this hero has more base damage than this hero, or how much damage this item gives versus this item. I really don't know. I just sort of have a ballpark idea that, Radiance gives you more damage than Diffusal, but I don't, there's no context to it, or I know that Kotal is faster than Medusa, but I don't know anything, how much faster or anything like that. So each week, I'm going to be testing Marco and Adam's knowledge, and hopefully the listeners, and we'll all learn something. So I've been on a mission to learn a little bit about move speeds this week, and I'm going to throw some questions out at you to see how well you know them, and then we'll recap, and I'll go over some interesting observations and all the rest of it. So I'm gonna start easy here and ask you how much move speed you get from brown boots.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure it used to be 50, but now I feel
it used to be. I don't know if it's 40 or 45.
Oh yeah, 40 or 45.
In the middle, it's 45.
Yeah.
Do you get extra move speed, or what else gives you the same move speed as brown boots? What other types of boots?
Oh, what? Power treads?
Yeah. Because I honestly thought that brown boots gave you less movement speed. I thought you got like a 5 or 10 move speed bonus from getting treads, arcanes, phase, tranks.
No,
but actually,
no.
they're all the same. So broken tranks and phase boots when they're not activated, all 45.
Yeah, phase active is right.
Yes. Yeah. Although Guardian Greaves give you 50, which is 5 more. So bearing in mind
nice
that brown
bonus.
bearing in mind brown boots give you 45. Do you know what Windlace gives you?
25.
20.
20.
Oh, 20. Fuck.
Wow. And there are actually 3 other items that give you 20. And
Yules.
Yeah, Yules, exactly. Solar Crest gives you 20 as well.
Yeah.
And the Drum Aura.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting one that I didn't know. Wind Waker. Do you know how much movement speed you get from Wind Waker? Given that the component is Yule's Mystic Staff recipe, and Yule's gives you 20, it's surprising how much Wind Waker gives you.
40?
It gives you 50. You got 50
Yeah, I was going
move
to say
speed.
50.
That's, in the late game, you can get that instead of having a boot. It gives you more than boots. It's worth knowing something like that. I thought it was interesting. And then, just to finish off our boots, boots of travel.
100.
Oh,
Yeah. 100.
that's so much, isn't it?
So much. It's twice as much as what brown boots give you.
And there's no... Boots 2 doesn't... It's still 100, right?
No. Boots 2.
Or
Boots
does it-
2's 120 for boots 2.
Oh, wow, interesting.
And interestingly, 120, what boots 2 give you, is the same as phase boot active. So
Is phase boot active not percentage?
I don't think so. Based on my maybe that's a correction. If you're making me doubt myself there, but
20% increased movement speed on melee, 10% increased ranged.
why does it say? Does it just give you phased movement speed then? I don't know why that came up on the. Anyway, that was on the Dota wiki that I was copying from, so maybe I'm sure that's wrong. There's a couple of other items that give you move speed, but how much does Yasha give you, or what does Yasha give you? And Manta, that both give you the same thing.
12% move speed? Or is it 16?
I was going to say 8 is my guess.
Yeah, it is 8. Well done. 8% for Yasha and Manta. I think it's down from 10 on a previous patch.
16 on the combined, like, Kaya Yasha, Sanj and Yasha. Right?
Sanj and Yasha's 10.
10? What?
10% for S and Y and
10%.
10% for
There used to be
Kaya
a day
and
when
Sanj.
that was 16. Surely. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I think
12.
there was. I think
Is it
it's
not
been
attack
nerfed.
speed or something that's 16? I'm sure there's some 16s involved with Sanj and Yasha.
And then finally, just to round out this segment, I'm going to give you a few which hero is faster questions.
Nice.
And bonus points if you can guess the actual move speed. And then finally, I'll ask you which abilities give you haste, and like a bit of haste knowledge that I wasn't aware of either. So first to do some maybe we'll start easier and get harder. What hero is faster, Ricky or Darkseer? This is quite a big difference, actually.
Darkseer's faster.
Ricky's faster. Ricky's got 320 base movement speed.
Wow, 320.
Yeah, he's really quick. He's really
That surprises me.
Yeah.
quick. Yeah, doesn't feel like it. And Darkseer is quite slow.
290?
295. Yeah, it's very surprising. Here's one that's changed a lot. Do you know what Techie's base move speed is? Because I certainly
320.
It is 320, yeah. Oh my word, who is this guy? This guy plays techies. It used to be really slow, didn't
It
it?
used to be 275.
Yeah,
like
it
the
used to be
worst in the game.
275. Speaking of 275, there's 4 heroes that have it. Can you name any of them?
Warlock?
No.
Crystal Maiden?
No, Crystal Maiden has 280.
Tree without passive
No.
bonus?
Tree
No?
has 280. There is one hero that... So, 2 of these heroes have move speed built into spells. One of them's Broodmother, so Broodmother's got 275.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you the other 2 just so the listeners aren't pulling their hair out during this extended quiz. But
let me guess, Medusa?
Yeah, Medusa is one of them, yeah.
A slow plotter.
Viper is one of them as well. Slowest hero in the game, Viper.
Wow.
And then the final one...
Razor?
Weaver.
275. Yeah.
Yep. And then there are the 5 fastest heroes in the game.
Ench Krob.
Neither. No.
Neither. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Not Luna?
No. Luna is the second fastest. This is 330. There are 5 heroes with 330. Luna has 325. I should have quizzed that. I missed that quiz. Oh well. I'll give you... So Kotl and Pugna are the 2 ranged heroes with 330. There are 3 melee heroes. One's Meepo.
Wow, really?
Okay, I never would have got Meepo, but
Meepo's
is LC
330. LC is 330, and there's one other carry hero.
Lifesteal?
Lifesteal is 325. It's close.
Yeah.
It's Naga Siren, 330.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, there was a time where I could have given you move speeds to the 5 for like 80% of the pool, but it's changed so much over the years that I've gotten mixed up. It's one of those things where you memorize it one way and then you don't random anymore, and so you don't get those heroes.
Yeah. It's certainly surprising, the difference between 275 and the difference between and 330 is massive. A Pudge with boots is still slower than LC Meepo Naga, Kotl Pugna. So that is quite considerable. A Doom with boots is only 5 move speed faster than a Sven. And you don't think of Sven as being a fast hero. But it is. Skywrath Mage as well. 325. Really, really fast. Yeah, so that's my, I guess, that I'll stop boring you, and then we'll finally go on to a bit more of a useful mechanic, Haste. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Haste sets a minimum move speed. You cannot be slowed while hasted.
Correct.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure about that. I didn't know that. So if you pop a haste rune, there's nothing that can be done.
It's like
which is why Crystal Maiden can do that meme with her her ultimate now with the Ag Shard. Because you can't have penalties applied.
Yeah, which is interesting to know, and I feel like there are abilities that give you haste that it's worth knowing about. I wonder if you can name any of them. There's not many. I think there's 8 abilities that give haste. Yeah, so Sakuchi, and one is haste rune. So haste rune, Sakuchi,
Windrun.
Surge. Yep.
Windrun?
No, Windrun you can be slowed in. Stampede from your boy Centaur.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are gimmicky. So Chronosphere. If you're Void and any... It says Void and any unit he controls, but... So, does that mean if you have Helmdom, it can move in your own Chrono? That doesn't seem right.
Well, you can Manta.
Maybe it just means Manta Illusions.
But
Illusion Rune.
I feel like if you could do Necros, that would have been a build.
Yeah,
so
that surely would have been a build, yeah. So Chrono's one. Shapeshift, Lycan Shapeshift is another.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 more. One is Rolling Thunder, although that's an asterisk because you can be stopped. You can have your move speed reduced to 0, so it doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, you get roared and stuff like that. And then the last one is Phantom Rush on PL. You cannot be slowed while Phantom Rushing. You're just at haste movement speed. So I hope we
know that from fear. You fear the PL, and he runs so far away from you so fast
that's the worst feeling ever. He's just safe.
Actually, works out better for him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope you learned something there. That's Move Speed Corner, and I'll be back next week with I don't know, base damage, perhaps, or something. I don't know.
Oh, I already know the top 3 off the top of my head. I was going to ask if you guys knew.
I think I know the top 3.
Because I saw it in a video. Yeah. We'll see if Marco knows.
I think I definitely know the top 2. I don't know about the third.
Base
Marco?
Yeah. Can you help me with an attribute?
Strength for the number 1.
Yeah, Strength. And it's been that they have been the top one forever.
Think about what hero everyone was trying to do the last hit challenge with.
Oh, Triem.
Yeah.
I think number 2 Shaman.
It is.
I don't know about what number 3 is though. I'm not sure about that.
I was surprised.
Oh,
Crob or something?
I think I feel like I have seen this video you're thinking of. Is it Pudge?
Yeah, it's Pudge. Yeah.
I have seen the video. There's a Jenkins video. I just remember.
Yeah. It's like Pudge. 81 or 82 for Tree, and then 71 for Shaman, and then like 68 for Pudge or something.
Yeah, Tree actually bops. Tree is.
There's
so
old Quelling Blade. You were hitting for over 100 on creeps, and that was just
absurd.
Just the best thing ever.
Let's move on then to a general discussion of the meta and some roles and stuff. And first, I want to pose a question to you two. Looking through the win rates on particularly Dota 2 Pro Tracker, which I don't do very often because I tend to use Dota Buff. Dota 2 Pro Tracker was 7k plus games. On the heroes with high win rates, I noticed that the list is relatively dominated by carries, and there's relatively few supports, particularly position 5s. And I was wondering if there was a reason for that in your view. Is that just the meta as it is now, or do you think that carry matchups are so important that it's relatively less important to have a specific hero on POS 5 because what you do is more about what you do rather than like the tools you have in your kit, and you want all your gold and sort of your XP and your strength to be on a carry whose kit makes the most out of it, and therefore carries are the most important for hero matchups and stuff like that, or whether you think it's something else.
I think it's that, and then just by nature of how the game is evolved in pick order and stuff, supports are usually picked first, and I think there's probably a correlation between pick order and win rate to where the earlier you pick, the closer you're at 50%. Regardless of hero strength.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
But
last
picking a mid or a carry, you're going to pick something that is hopefully well adjusted to the environment of the draft. So I think that nets you a few percentage points regardless. I don't know. I feel like support kits in general always trend towards 50. Maybe like the strongest ones. I don't know what the strongest support has been. That's not like a new hero shipped on release. I don't know, like 53%.
It was the Bane. There was the Bane.
Yeah, traditionally Bane.
Like 55, 56 at one point.
Yeah.
I think Adam makes a really good point with the later your pick is, the higher the win rate should be, because like you say, you can see more of the heroes, you can pick a better fitting hero, as opposed to the POS 4-5, which picked up first phase, almost kind of random. I agree with your point, Stan, that naturally the games and every meta is going to be almost carry favoured. The gold, the XP's on their shoulders. So then it feels like their matchup is relatively more important than the supports. The supports, I mean, it's hard to go too wrong. Yeah, if you're a Doc, a Broodmower is going to destroy you, but that's an extreme case. The median is your support hero is going to be pretty fine, whereas the POS 1 matchup is likely going to be a bit more volatile, so then the actual hero matters more.
Yeah, and it's like, how often is a Crystal Maiden going to carry your game relative to Lycan?
Yeah.
There will be times where Crystal Maiden carries your game, but on average, Lycan carries it way more.
Yeah, I think the picking order is important because on the one hand, you might think, oh, these carries that have a high win rate, say your Faceless Void, this is based off Dota 2 Pro Tracker, like your Faceless Voids or your Lunas, your Nagas, surely you see that they have these really high win rates, you may as well just pick them early and then get a support that fits the game well, but actually, it's more the fact that these picks, these Faceless Void picks, are only happening in good Faceless Void games, right?
Yeah.
You're never going to pick it at the end when it's a bad Faceless Void game. Whereas these supports, it's like what Adam said, they're going to trend more towards 50 because they're being picked at the start, and so they're going to find themselves in good Wyvern games and bad Wyvern games, or whatever it may be. So it's interesting.
You pick Void first, you're going to get countered.
Yes.
So the only core that's sometimes your 3 gets picked, but most of the time, if you're not picking Dawnbreaker, it's going to be 2 supports picked in the first phase. You can pick Dawnbreaker right now because it's the new hero, but most of the time, 5 and 4.
Yeah, for sure. It's an interesting one, and then it's always fascinating, not to go into a rabbit hole, but it's always fascinating to me that all of what we say is true, but then you go into the pro scene and it's like a totally different story because, you build drafts.
That's captain's mode.
Yeah, that's
first
captain's
pick
mode. Yeah, like first pick spec and stuff like that. And anyway, we don't need to go there. This is a podcast about pubs, the people, not the few, not the pros. Let's ask one. I wanted to ask one other question that I was thinking about as well. And this has sort of been spurred from learning a bit of a new role. I don't want to overstate it. I've not played that many games of offlane, but people always ask about improving and what heroes to pick, and that it's very lucrative and interesting to think about, oh, these heroes are doing well, maybe I'll pick this hero. And how much is focusing on picking a sort of a gimmick and sort of a misfocus? And it made me ponder optimal improvement, whether it's better to pick a wide range of heroes to give you a breadth of experience on different heroes and how they function in interactions, and hopefully gain an understanding of what kind of things work in a game, or whether it's better to have quite a tight, restricted hero pool and get better at optimizing your execution and understanding of certain specific things in a game. And maybe just to give an example to make it easier, do I play a bunch of different heroes in the mid and maybe work out that, pressuring mid tower or running into their jungle and, doing damage in these ways is good? Or do I play certain heroes and know that, when I play Necrophos, I can farm, I can invade the enemy jungle a bit, or, whatever it may be. I was wondering what thoughts are on that.
I think undoubtedly it's a timing question. Say day one, if you want to maximize your win rate in pubs, what's your strategy? It would be to play one hero and one hero only.
Right.
But if you want to kind of maximize your gameplay in the longer term, or even the medium term, you have to branch out. You can't just play one hero from day 0. I think, honestly, the first 2-3 years, what's the point of focusing that hard on one role, one hero? Learn the game for the sake of enjoyment, but also for the longer term sake of actually understanding the game and understanding every position and understanding every hero. And then maybe after a few years, if then you kind of want to try hard, sweat, climb, specialize, then you'll have the foundations to do so.
Are you saying don't play 250 games of Meepo in your first year? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Unless you just are having so much fun.
I was. Because
ultimately, you are going to get to a point where if you want to optimize if you want to hit your kind of 100% peak level, it has to be via specializing in some role or hero. Unless you play endless games, you won't have the time to specialize in multiple. So if you want to hit your peak, you're going to have to whittle your pool down, but I don't think you should do that too fast. I think you should play that wide range, every position, every hero, understand the game broadly, and then specialize.
Yeah. it's an interesting one because Dota's so complex and there's so many heroes and so many matchups and stuff that part of me is almost tempted to think that it's a losing battle trying to gain lots of understanding and experience of different heroes in different situations, and actually, to what extent are you going to be hampered by being more focused early and then just having a running layman's knowledge of the other stuff that's going on in your game?
I think 5 games though on every hero, at least 5 games. 100 heroes, 5 games, 500 games. That's a drop in the ocean. That's like a half a year. I think that kind of level across the board is way better than I've played only 20% of the heroes.
Until they change their move speeds in a patch, and then everything you've worked for is nothing.
How much can you gain from 5 games on a hero? Do you know what I mean? I almost feel like 500 games, 5 games on every hero, it's a nice foundation, but is it that much better at achieving your end goal than if you'd played 100, 50 games on 10 heroes? There's no answer to these questions. There's no answer. Maybe it doesn't make a difference, if Sumail played 5 heroes, or if he played every hero, he's still going to go pro. Do you know what I mean? Or is that wrong? I don't know.
I think every pro player will have played every hero at least 5 times. And
do you think so?
Yeah.
Maybe. No. That's interesting.
Maybe not 5 times. Maybe 3 times.
It depends on whether their account has the records of it, because there are definitely some accounts that have no matches on a lot of heroes.
In this early phase, though, when you've just started playing and you're in your infancy of the first 2 to 3 years, which in Dota World is infancy, I do think there is value to play in a broad spectrum. Not because you're then going to become a master in that hero you've played 3, 4, 5 times, but I don't know. I feel like you will gain insight into the hero, into playing the position, to playing the game holistically that you wouldn't if you only had 10 heroes under your belt. So, you've got different spells to use, and different spells require different elements.
You need to know what the other heroes do, so you know how to play around their cooldowns and stuff.
But there's that as well. What's the extent? What's the power spike of these different heroes? What's the limits? What's their weaknesses? How do they click? How do they be effective? You'll learn bits around that via playing them. That you won't be able
what you
to
said, that it depends on when you're wanting to peak. If you want to make the MMR number go up faster, focus on one. But if you really want to be better at the game objectively, 6 months from now, you're probably better served with playing a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an impossible question, because then you get into the realms of, how you're playing heroes and everything. So it really does depend. It's interesting to think about, though, no doubt. Let's maybe go on to some meta, though. I know there's been some discussions, some rumblings about Beastmaster's Aghanim's Scepter. Marco, you're very much, well, I don't know about very much, but you're against the hype a little bit.
Very much against it.
Very much against the hype. Maybe we can go into this, because we're seeing it a lot. I've seen it a bunch in my games, and a fair bit in the pro scene even. Is this legit? Is the Beastmaster Ags legit? Adam says yes, Marco says no. Turmoil.
But I don't think that is the most OP thing about him.
Interesting. Inner Beast OP, I've been saying it since day one. Sorry, go on, Adam. What's the most OP part about Beastmaster?
The level 20 talent on Roar.
I'm not even aware of this. This is going to be a new stat corner, his talents. What's the 20 talent on Roar?
Minus 35 second primal Roar cooldown.
Half the cooldown.
Which makes it a 35 second cooldown Roar.
Oof, that's pretty nasty.
4 second BKB piercing stun on a 35 second cooldown. Makes your landing your Qs trivial, but also is just one of the best point target stuns in the game. Halved in Halfton cooldown. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty mad. And would you say that the Ags, as it's starting to fall off, being magic damage that doesn't scale? I mean, it infinitely scales, but not, the damage doesn't scale itself in terms of your first hit, your second hit, your third hit. When that's starting to fall off, you hit 20 and you get Primal Roar, so you're strong going forward. Because I don't really feel like Beastmaster wants to hit level 20, really, the new Ags way, right? Or maybe
I
just
think you hit 20 really fast because you're just slaying everyone with your axes early.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
it just depends. Like, that was that one pro game Nisha picked it up. It looked absurd, but it just depends on when you pick it up. I feel it's really good mid build. I don't know if that's what you get as off lane. It seems like really slow to get the Ags.
Yeah. I think you want to play it mid, right? Just because of the way that the roles tend to work. You kind of want a beefier offlaner. Because ultimately, when you get the Ags, you are kind of a glass cannon. You've got no escape mechanism. You've just got a long range, very high damage spell with no cooldown. You want to be
long fights from the side, throwing things. Also, when you get Octarine Core, and makes your roar 22.5 second cooldown.
Yeah.
Arcane Blink would force it even lower, but that's like Supreme late game. It's pretty funny how a hero that went from Necro, Helm of the Dominator, Vlad, Pipe, Aura, sometimes you get a Blink, but you're like, Aura, Team Fight, Vision Control, hero. Now you're like a Magic Nuker.
Yeah. So it's interesting that the evolution of Beastmaster, because even when I started playing the game, which was quite late into Dota 2's evolution, Blink was sort of core on Beastmaster. You Blink Roar was like what the hero was for.
Yeah. Why are these axes magical?
Doesn't make sense, yeah. I swear it used to be physical.
Why?
Okay. Can you change that?
Why is Dazzle's Poison Touch physical, but these wild axes are magical? Like, I understand why Dazzle's spells are physical because he's got minus armor. Like, I like that. It makes sense. But why are these axes magical? Like, what in the lore? What is so I mean, they are magical because they come back. Like, that is pretty cool. I guess that must be enchanted axes. I just want them to be able to cut down more trees. Let's be real here. Like,
tree cutting. Let's go.
They nerfed the width of his axe's cut ability, so it's a bummer.
Want to cut down some more Monkey Kings? Marco, I don't know if you want to pose the counter argument to this axes. Why are you not convinced? What's keeping you from getting on the hype train?
So anecdotally, I'm not convinced. I've seen it, I think, 3 times now. Crash and burn. Trash. Epic fail. I had it in a ranked game. Played Puck. Enemy Beastmaster just got trashed. Caused his team to abandon. They got stomped that hard. It was, great days. I've had it on my team. Maybe it doesn't work in the off lane, but I've seen off laners go for it, and it's like, thumbs up. Thanks for bringing Noth into the game. See you next game. And then in the mid, okay, I've heard the stories. I've not seen them. I've heard the stories. Wow. Stompy, Nisha, woo, crazy. To me, it feels like one of these, a pro team kind of abuse it and exploit it and play this perfect, calculated game, which is orientated around this power spike, this ability, and they stomp some newbie team. But then in a pub setting, do I want my mid player getting this weird, like, long range, persistent, magical damage output? In a conventional pub game, no, I don't. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just not convinced because some pub pros have stomped it. It doesn't feel like to me it's it should be seen in pubs. And maybe at the 7k plus level, again, smarter, they understand it better, they can play around it better, the person can execute it better. But in a typical pub game, I mean, it doesn't strike me as, wow, broken. Someone can throw axes from 1,000 range away on a 0-second cooldown. Wow. It just doesn't strike me as this immense tool. And again, I haven't seen it smash, but stats don't tell me it's amazing yet. 7k plus perhaps, but this week's win rates across the board, it's 50 less.
Yeah.
It's, reading what it does, 0-second cooldown, I'm seeing it do shit, I'm like, I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. I do not like the idea as well of this Beastmaster being like I hate this gimmicky kind of crap, like a Beastmaster with an axe throwing axes of 0-second cooldown. Go away. Just doesn't, I'm not into it.
Yeah, it does feel a bit to me like the Zeus effect, and by that I mean this hero always crushes the damage output in post game in on the scoreboard. You see, oh my god, the enemy Beastmaster did, twice as much damage as any of our heroes. We still won the game though. It just feels a bit like that Zeus that's always going to crush the damage, but it doesn't. We know because we've been accustomed to Zeus for a million years that doesn't mean that Zeus is the best hero in the game. It's the same with Beastmaster, but it's new, so we look at the damage stats and think, oh my god, Beastmaster, this is insane. Look at how much damage it's doing. But anecdotally, I have the same experience where I've only seen it lose. I think I've only seen it, I think maybe 2, maybe 3 times. But it's not impressive. And the other thing that I don't like about it is, in order to use Roar, even just using Roar, which is Beastmaster's best spell, you've got to put yourself in a position where you could die. And as a mid with no escape, it's like Zeus. Imagine Zeus had Primal Roar. You wouldn't want to use it because you'd put yourself so close to the enemies that unless it was just a solo pick-off, you're probably going to die. Any sort of blink counter initiation, you just die. So it just doesn't feel quite right to me. And I wasn't that impressed. And you can itemize against it. Pipe's going to be very effective. I say very. The damage is still ridiculous and you still have to avoid this hero, but it's not that hard to avoid. I played against a mid Beastmaster that crushed our mid and got an Ags really early. And then all we did was just don't push into the lane that Beastmaster's in. It's not that hard to do. And then outside of that, the hero offers nothing.
Yeah. That's what I feel like with the pro scene, that it's this, theoretically immense power spike while relative so strong. You hit that timing. And they exploit it, they push it, they force you to confront the axe and you just die. But in pubs, I mean, you're just not going to execute it as well as you need to. And then at the end of the day, once you've missed your timing by 10 minutes, it's a Beastmaster that's squishy, easy to kill with like a pseudo arc lightning. Alright, who gives one?
Yeah.
Get him out.
Yeah, it's just like, it's such a gimmick.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people are having such a visceral reaction to it. It's just like, why is the Beastmaster, he doesn't care about his beasts.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about his summons, and he's just throwing these axes, over and over and over and over again. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's move on then to a hero that isn't gimmicky. It just stands and right clicks, and that's Drow Ranger. Talk to me about this one, because why has Drow Ranger got such a high win rate? I don't feel like the hero was changed that much, right? They just buffed the frost arrows. Am I right in believing that? And yet suddenly the hero's absolutely crushing it with sort of 55% win rates in Divine Plus and stuff like that. Marco, you play a lot of carry. Do you enjoy a bit of Drow Ranger? And does it seem good to you in the games that you've seen it? Does it seem deserving of this high win rate? Do you think it's the best carry, or are you're not so sure?
I find it interesting that its win rate has seemingly spiked a decent amount, like say 54, 55 level for a Drow seems very good. For a hero that conventionally you would think is quite kind of weak, easy to punish, easy to get on top of, etc. But I mean, obviously, this patch with the movement speed stuff or the gap close stuff, Abyssal, and the talents, and just anything range, movement speed taking a nerf has obviously worked in someone like Dro's favor. Find it interesting that it's worked to such a degree. I don't really, like I said it last week, the range carries just, I don't know, they just don't tickle my boat. And so
tickle my boat.
Dro Ranger, I've got 26 games on this account. I mean, it's not many. It's kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of boring when you're stood there right clicking from afar. You know what I mean? You want to be in the mix.
You want to be one-shotting ancients with your level 6. That's what you want.
Oh god,
it's ridiculous that you used to one-shot ancients with a proc on your marksmanship. That's ridiculous. I'd love to go back to then though. That was fun times for sure.
I wonder how. I mean, so the cast point or the attack point buff is nice. I always did feel like playing Dro, the attack animation was nasty and difficult. And again, if you're missing 20%. Or if you're getting 20% more CS in the laning phase because your attack point's easy to work with, it's a snowball effect and your game's going to have higher impact. I wonder how fundamental the shard is, because that's what got this movement speed slow buff, and I've never played with the shard, so maybe that's relatively strong now.
Just for reference, this shard is an upgrade to Frost Arrows, where you apply Hypothermia stack to enemy heroes, which reduces their regeneration by 10%, increases your damage by 5% per stack, and if the enemy dies with this effect on them, they burst and deal 60% magic damage per stack and 40% slow to 2 seconds to enemies within a 650 radius. So you do get quite a lot from the shard.
7 stacks. If you kill someone with 7 stacks, it's 420 damage burst and 40% slow. If you have 7 stacks on somebody, it's 70% health reduction, heal reduction, health regeneration reduction, lifesteal reduction, and spell lifesteal reduction on the target.
That helps you man up quite a lot.
Yeah, in the game I played today, Drow just destroys Alk with the shard. Like, you know, people buy Scotty, people buy Shivas. This is like the same thing. The shards apply to multi-shot, so you can kind of AoE it, and I feel like the hero's really good. Her laning's really nice. I can't believe like there's bonus damage on the frost arrows. It's like great orb walking. You know, like Husker feels like that, where you don't want to get touched by a frost arrow. You can't like get up on her, and at max it's 20 bonus damage per frost arrow, 55% movement slow.
Did you mention Husker? Because I'm wondering which hero is faster, Husker or Drow Ranger.
They're both slow.
I'd say Huskar's faster.
Yeah, I think Huskar's faster.
Let's see if I can find it here. So Drow Ranger, any guesses for the movement speed there?
290.
295.
290. Well done. And Huskar, also 290. So they have the same move speed. There you go. The more you know, and I'll just slap my book down to one side, which I recorded every hero's movement speed. Yeah. What's the build on Drow Ranger these days? Just Yasha into Pike?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yasha into Dragonlance.
Into BKB, maybe, usually.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to do. But Yasha Dragonlance is a lot of agi. So it's good, and then you need the extra range, and it's a lot of damage for your... because you're giving agi to your team equal to like a percentage of your agi, which is like a slept-on component of what makes the hero so strong in a ball. It's like everyone's attacking faster because everyone's getting this free agi.
Yeah, strong.
Looks like my drow in the game today went double Wraithband, Falcon Blade, Treads, Dragonlance, Sanj and Yasha, Shard at 20, Pike, Butterfly, Daedalus. Also, that was 33 minutes, over 800 GPM. So
that sounds tasty.
Yeah.
Eat your heart out, Alk. I've got 800 GPM. Now what?
And the marksmanship proc, that's good. Ignoring base armor and getting 90 extra damage. You take Roche really well. You
combine that with an Elder Titan, you fly.
Yeah, you absolutely annihilate Agi carries because you just ignore that because they don't usually build armor because they're depending on the natural armor. So then they're just. I mean, you're hitting a Morphling with 0 armor or a Tearblade. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like Dro, and I guess it is typical of most ones really, that the win rate fluctuates with respect to what the meta heroes are, and it feels like Dro is being suited to the meta vaguely. This idea of the matchups of marksmanship works well. I feel like there's a lot of frontline heroes for Dro to play with, like these melee 3/4s that are initiating ahead of you. I feel like kind of clumping up quite a lot happens more. It's not as kind of crazy, fast-paced. Games feel like they take a bit longer to end anyway. Tower defending's better.
And you have marksmanship for the Agi carries, and you have Ag Shard for the strength carries. Melee heroes. It's like you have a bunch of slow for the heroes that want to get on you, and you're getting rid of their big regen. And then for the Agi heroes, you just rip through all their armor. And then at 25, you get 30% cooldown reduction, and then now you have Omega BKBs and Force Staffs and Gust, which is really slept on spell. Just the big AoE silence.
Is so long on Gust. Silence is stupidly long. How
it's
long
like Night Stalker silence. It is 6 seconds at max.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I was wondering if Marco would know. There you go, 6 seconds.
3 to 6. So it's a great value point. 3 second silence AoE cone.
Let's end up, Marco. I'm wondering how long this stored flame corner you have for us. So I don't know if you want to play us out with a little flame corner.
So I've had it for ages. It's an item. I mean, I don't know if you could guess it. It's a mid-tier.
You're flaming an item.
Yeah, big time, big time.
Okay, we need some hints.
It's it's not early game. It's not early game. It's not late games. It's kind of like first, second item, mid-tier, low mid-tier. Typically built on offlane heroes. We know we like to flame offlane heroes, or not offlane heroes, but offlane players. Jokes.
Okay. I need
offlane,
to, so I think.
Offlane players. How can I give any more information?
You don't need to. You don't need to give too much.
Item. The offlane.
The Crimson Guard.
Nah,
no, it's not going to be Crimson.
That doesn't warrant flame corner.
And
it's also kind of a secondary reason why I'm flaming it, rather than kind of primary face value reasons. Because, yeah, you can have a guess.
I have a few guesses, perhaps. I don't think it's going to be something. I don't think it's going to be Armlet. I don't think it's going to be Witchblade. It's not. Is it? It's not Veil, is it?
No. More kind of Pos 3.
More Pos 3 specifically.
It can't.
I'm not sure.
Be Halberd. It better not be Halberd.
It's not Halberd. I rate very highly, and that's kind of higher, a bit higher tier. This is on the lower end of that. It's not an early game.
Not a drum. Is it a Vlad's?
No, you know I love a Vlad's.
Spirit Vessel.
Nah, you can't flame Spirit Vessel. That's good.
I'm stumped.
But it's about the price of all of those.
Yeah, you're in the right ballpark. I don't think any... Correct.
Blade mail.
Yes. I despise
good.
blade mail. Wrong. No, I'll go to the grave.
It is good on Spectre. First item.
It's good on Spectre. Okay, that's it. That's the only credibility blade mail has.
It is not good on Centaur.
It is not good on any other hero that's not a POS 1 Spectre. In my view. And like I said, it's not because the stats are bad or anything, but there are two scenarios that arise when blade mail exists. Scenario 1, I'm a POS 3. I'll be a Legion commander. I'll be any conventional POS 3 that initiates, gets stuff done, tanky, etc. Scenario A, I buy a blade mail, and now my blink dagger is delayed 2,000 gold, delayed 8 minutes, 7 minutes. Wow, is that detrimental to our game? What have you achieved with that blade mail? You've probably farmed a few neutral camps a bit faster. That's it. You get no value out of blade mail, because why would you? Like, I don't know. Is it maybe it's normal in Dota that you cast blade mail and like people just want a Lagoon, and you're like, maybe that is the situation, but I've never seen anyone get value out of blade mail. They delay the blink. Second scenario, they've got a blink. BKB just doesn't seem to register in people's brain as a good item. I'll buy a blade mail instead and delay my BKB by 2,000 gold in 7-8 minutes.
And that people just BKB and hit you through your blade mail and they don't care.
I mean, how much value is a blade mail ever given from its active anyway? I mean, it's only ever conventionally been built on an axe who forces people to hit him.
Axe and LC are like the only two.
I mean, I've seen it on LCs though, which has triggered me because of not the point that the blade mail itself is that bad, but I've seen it on LCs walking around the game for 20 minutes with a blade mail, no blink, and being like, can you just abandon? Like, you're not, you're so useless, it's insane. And I've then seen these games of, you've got blink, alright, we're now in this 20 plus period of the game, and you've got a blade mail, and just no one cares. Like, I'm looking around the globe and no one cares that you've got a blade mail. Like, it doesn't matter. But it does matter that you're 2,000 gold away from a BKB, which is the best item in the game, as voted by anyone with any brain cells. It's, don't buy blade mail.
It's actually one of those items that, man, if you were the draw graph of effectiveness, it tops out right when you initially buy it at like 8 to 12 minutes. And then it goes down to the floor. And then extreme late game, it actually goes way back up. When people have rapiers and like ballistas and crits and stuff. And there's like, you can get cheeky, sneaky kills that way if they don't have satanic. Then it goes right back down into the
that's a great shout. I could give a lot of respect to say that 60-minute blade mail pickup that all of a sudden blows up an enemy hero. That's quite cool. So I'm not blaming blade mail in of itself. It's just when people just I don't know, brain wired to buy it because they're an LC or they're an offlaner or an axe or centaur.
Yeah.
And then
was it Sumail Alk that bought a blade mail late game against no one sniper and the sniper killed himself?
It's like 3 right clicks.
Yeah, 3 right clicks.
That was very cool.
It's a very situational item, isn't it?
Really don't give it any credit. There's no situation to be bought.
Okay, I do think it is good on spec. I do think it's good on Legion. Like, I legitimately think it's good on Legion.
You're making your game harder to win.
No, but I was going to say it's so situational that it's good on Legion and Axe only situationally.
Alright, hit me with this situation.
Well, if you're against like a PA, I think you should get blade mail on your.
So you should walk around with a blade mail rather than a blink.
Maybe not first item because you need to. It's only good during duel on a PA.
Yeah, alright. So you get second item delay BKB.
Yeah, or like high damage. If you need a blade mail to kill them,
you get Axe Shard. You don't need BKB now. Smile.
Yeah, Axe Shard. Shard's
really true. Maybe that's a combo Axe Shard.
I've definitely built it first on Centaur and Legion, but that's not like that's been a while. But I do think
Windranger.
Yes, legitimately good against Windranger.
It is good against Windranger.
Even then, it's just I'll stop hitting you. I mean,
you can't. It's
I feel like you have
heroes.
You have to get out.
Even at 6K MMR, people kill themselves on blade mail. Like they're just like, oh, I'll proc through it. I'll kill them and get away with like 10%. They'll be fine, and they just blow themselves up.
I've seen too many games where I've been looking at someone's inventory and it's got a blade mail, not a blink, or a blink and a blade mail, not a BKB, and just been like, you can't win the game because of this.
It is you can't even argue that point. Like, blink is way better than blade.
Yeah,
on Legion you get the blink first. Let's be real.
The play is you go blade mail first on all heroes, and then walk as a counter to Tinker, and then walk into March and kill them.
Yeah.
That's the play. Or like against Sniper, you get 5 heroes in 5 of your heroes activate blade mail and shrapnel. Just kill them.
Yep.
Easy.
Or 5 heroes into a Coddle Illuminate. Kills them.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, now what about this build with Legion? Phase Boots, blade mail. That's a lot of armor.
It's
so they're not doing a
just...
lot of damage to you, so your blade mail isn't returning a lot. Also, you have no attack speed during your duel. Pretty good, right?
I've seen some headless Legion commanders in my games in the last few months, and it is just painful to watch a headless Legion commander.
Speaking of headless Legion commanders, it's about time I got Legion into the 3 pool for my upcoming games.
It's fun.
It is, yeah. Great ganker. With that
Ag Shard is so good.
Yeah, although I've gone on Dota 2 Pro Tracker and I've seen that Lina has a good 7k plus win rate, even though it's really low in my MMR. So that, for some reason, obviously, I see myself as like an 8k person stuck in Ancient, smiley face. So now I'm making
Marco tells you.
Yeah, Marco says, just hit an axe and you'll be 8k. Hit a spear, rather, on Mars and you'll be 8k. Lena's got a 52% win rate and 7k plus, so here's me thinking that I should be going back to mid and just grinding some Lena. But no, I'll stay focused. I'll stay focused on...
Hey, do you want to hit Immortal? You play Spirit Breaker.
You play Spirit Breaker. No one else can play Spirit Breaker. You play Gyro 5 and Spirit Breaker and weird stuff, and the rest of us have to play real things that are good. We can't recreate.
I won both of my rank games this week, and I went into the one today. I was like, if I get 4, I'm going to pick Lion because I really want to play Lion, and I got 5, so I had to play Gyro.
Yeah,
easy win.
You're like Topson. If you try and emulate him, it's just not going to work. If I try and emulate your ranked Dota 2 gameplay, it's just not going to work. I'm going to end up on some Treant Protector or something, just wondering what I'm doing and feeling like I should be in a 1k game or something. Yeah. Well, that's the end of episode 100 and something. We've been flying through them. One thing always stays the same, though, in Dota, and that's the final whistle.